Pattaya is currently experiencing its quietest low season since the pandemic. With the shifting tourism and ever-increasing cost, Thailand, and especially Pattaya, is being hit hard. I am here today to get a gauge of how things actually are here. I'm going to be meeting with a friend of mine who's quite heavily involved with the bar scene, and I'll be speaking to him to find out what it's like currently and what the future holds. Just taking a walk down Beach Road currently. It's quiet. It is 4 p.m. at the moment. If you can see that, there is hardly anyone out. Now, I know Pattaya is a town that wakes up at night. There's not a whole lot happening here during the day, but this is quiet for here. Obviously, this is the low season, but we're gonna stay out and see what it's like into the evening. Now, I've been here through it all, basically. I've been here when it's hard to cross the road because there's so many cars and it's just madness here. And I also lived here for a while back during the pandemic in the lowest of lows. Now, since the borders did open in 2022, I've even noticed a shift in that time of the type of people that are coming here. The place came to life. Once the borders first opened, this place sprung back into action. There was people everywhere. It was a vibe here. Now, what has happened in that time is the place has expanded. When it first opened, not all the bars were ready. Not all the bars were owned by people. A lot of the place, half the place was empty really at that time. And this place has just expanded so rapidly. And at the same time, the tourism numbers have been decreasing, particularly from Western countries. These are the main people that you see hanging out in the bars here and enjoying the nightlife. And while these people are going down, the number of bars are getting bigger. It really has like double the effect. The place just seems much quieter. It can seem quieter than it actually is. Pattaya has seen a real shift in the people coming to visit. Once dominated by Western partygoers, has now become a tour group destination, popular with Indian, Chinese, and Korean tourists. The issues the local bars and restaurants face is that these tour groups are not out spending the same way the people from the West typically would, and the nightlife is being hit heavily. The rising cost of airlines, hotels, and everything once you arrive means a trip to Pattaya isn't a cheap holiday anymore. The town is losing that demographic, and the bars and nightlife industry are the ones suffering the most. So my friend that I'm on my way to meet was heavily involved with a lot of the bars in the Soi 6 area. He's worked at a ton of them, he's managed a ton of them. He's actually going to be opening his own bar at some stage. I don't know if I can talk about that. I don't know if that's public information. I may have to edit that bit out, but I'm really excited to get his thoughts on this whole situation. So if you are planning a trip out here to Thailand, don't let this discourage you. If anything, embrace it. I love when it's quiet here. Back during the pandemic was the best time to be here. Now, if you are coming out here to Thailand, one thing you are definitely going to want to do is make sure you have yourself a VPN. I personally use and recommend Surfshark, and I've been using them basically since I moved out here. Surfshark is a leading VPN provider. When I first moved out here, I was hacked really early on a public Wi-Fi. Having a VPN can help protect you from that. What I use it for the most is a lot of streaming services don't seem to work here, such as my motocross racing that I watch every single week. So I can change my location to get around all of that. Now, I have a great discount code you can use, that is keis1. As I take a look at the website today, there is awesome specials on. 4 months extra for free. These are the deals that I use when I first signed up. I now get it for free. Thank you, Surfshark. So check out Surfshark. There is a link down in the description to all of the information and the discount code. You can scan the QR code here and stay protected when you travel. There he is. How you doing? How you doing, man? Good. Oh, cheers, mate. Good to see you.
Cheers.
What is this low season like compared to the others that you've experienced here?
I would definitely say it's slightly more quieter. Soi 6 generally is more busy than any other street in Pattaya.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really affect that street as much as you'd think it would. But in other areas like Tree Town, Soi Buakhao, even Walking Street, it's does seem to be quieter.
So what are the changes that you've noticed here?
There's definitely, from my perspective, been a change in the nationality that people have come in here. You've probably seen videos online about there's a lot of Indian people here now. A lot of Europeans are sort of looking at other places like Vietnam because it's more cost effective and stuff like that. But apart from that, it's just a few bars opening, a few bars closing, but that's always happening here, I think.
Well, that leads me into my next question is, every time I come here, it's different. I'll see brand new places that pop up and they're like radical change. You know, they've done like an entire fit out, this whole new areas that open up. How much turnover is there at the moment?
I think every 2 months you'll see at least another 2 bars on Soi 6 flip, especially during low season. We're coming up to the peak now where all the changeovers happen in Pattaya, July and August. And yeah, I've noticed there's quite a few down on Soi 6 around town. You know, this is like the time when it all starts flipping because the prices are at the lowest. The lowest, yeah.
So you're planning to open a bar?
That's right.
Is that a good idea?
It's an idea. Whether it'll be a good one, time will tell. I want to try it out. I think I'll have a good customer base and make some more memories with people in Pattaya.
You'll be fine. You'll do well. And then the last question is, where do you see the future of Pattaya? Do you see it shifting and evolving?
I definitely think they're trying to glam this place up. You've probably noticed the change in the walking street sign. It's like a big 3D holographic sign. I think they're trying to give it like a more futuristic feeling to attract more, you know, futuristic people, if that makes sense. I think they're trying to get rid of the old image of being a somewhat seedy town and trying to make it a bit more upmarket looking.
Right.
A lot of people actually think when low season comes, the party stops and it's completely dead. But this is the time when it actually, you know, gives us locals time to breathe here, when there's not so many tourists running around and, you know, people start to relax more. It's easier for me to make videos.
It's my favorite time to come. Like to come down here. I love low season. Like I love the pandemic when there was no one here. I love when it's quieter. I don't like, it gets chaotic down here sometimes. So I enjoy this time of year.
Yeah, same here.
Thank you for your time.
No worries, bro.
Let's go enjoy, have a couple of beers and enjoy this. Got it. I didn't think. So right now we are at Tree Town. It is 8 p.m. and it's pretty quiet here. Again, I would love this if I was a single guy coming. This is perfect. There is no one here to compete with, but yeah, it's quiet. We're having fun. So this is super weird. This is where the walking street sign used to be. At the moment they're redoing it. They're coming out with a new super cool funky one. But for now, there is nothing there, and that is really weird. So right now it is just before 11 p.m. and you can see this is Candy's behind me here and it is empty. So there's a lot of people walking up and down the street here, but hardly anyone inside all of the venues here. It's crazy. It actually is really, really quiet now. So I am just editing this video right now and I just want to say quickly, this was really, really quiet. We went out, this was a Friday night at 11 o'clock And it was, you can see there's hardly anybody out. We went out the following night on the Saturday night, and we went out later. We were after midnight, a little bit after midnight, and it was busier. It wasn't a whole lot busier, but there was definitely more people than this. I don't know if that's because it was a Saturday or why, but I don't want you to get the wrong idea. Like I'm trying to make it look quieter than it is. This is just, it was really, really quiet at 11 o'clock on the Friday. So the final verdict is, yeah, it is really, really quiet. This is my 4th low season that I've experienced since living here. And this is probably the lowest, with the exception of the pandemic. Obviously, there's a lot of people walking around, but inside the places is hardly anyone. And I think the main contributor to that is the shift in tourism here.